Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for the broadcast of the iRacing Superstock League Superspeedway Series, sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Tonight, we will be at the virtual Talladega Superspeedway for 30 heart-pounding laps in the NASCAR Cup cars. I'm your announcer, Atlee @ManWees, and joining me tonight to call the action is experienced iRacing driver Dustin Dean. Hey, Dustin, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Atlee. I'm just sitting here watching practice, getting ready for an exciting race at Talladega. Talladega always brings the best super speedway racing, in my opinion. It's got that wider track, a lot more ways you can move your car around and try to get the lead, and so I think we'll see a lot of action, hopefully a lot of give and take, at least early on.
Right, and that should be exciting, but one thing that made this is exciting for the funding and everything was Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Fort Worth Screen Printing is the sponsor of the race tonight. Since 1997, Fort Worth Screen Printing has provided quality screen printing services to promotional products, distributors, marketing firms, advertising agencies, and users throughout the United States. Fort Worth Screen Printing is actually, and I say this every time, it's very cool, they're the official apparel supplier of two big NASCAR teams, Mike Harmon Racing and Rickware Racing. If you are in need of a quality screen printed t-shirt, then please look them up on Facebook at Fort Worth Screen Printing and find them online at fwscreen.com. And I have been to their website, and they show some of their works that they've done, and they're quality screen printed t-shirts.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff too, and they can actually help with like a logo design if you need that, or anything. They can really help out with anything that you need on any type of material. So just give them a shout if you need them, and they'll be there for you. And already in practice, we see 3 wide, like on your screen right now. It's going kind of crazy already.
Oh.
And that's how quick it happens. So tonight, good thing this is just practice, but tonight I think that 3 wide is going to bite some people. It is Talladega, and so it gives that false sense of security out there with the wide lanes. But that's going to get some people in trouble too.
Now, before we do head into qualifying, we'll ask that please share the stream, as it does give exposure to the league, sponsors, drivers, and it helps us feed Petey the raccoon.
Always got to feed Petey. I mean, he is just poor guy. He's getting hungry. Getting hungrier by the race.
Now, speaking of race, the race format for tonight it's been the same for the entire season, but it's going to be 45 max entries, and we do have a full field tonight, so that should be exciting. 5 will be advancing from qualifying, which is a 2-lap qualifier. Then we got 10 advancing from heat race number 1, and then 10 will advance from heat race number 2. Both of those are 15 laps, and then with everything combining with each other, we'll have 25 drivers starting the feature. Features 30 laps. Now, every single time with these heat races, I feel like the cream advances to the feature. The best of the best are going to be in the feature race.
Yeah, and we see that, like you talked about, every week, where it seems like there are some anomalies, right? There's some guys that maybe don't belong, that make their way up there, but there are also some guys that we see them up front the whole race in the heat race, get taken out on the last lap, and they don't make it. And so yeah, the cream usually does rise, but there are times where we see some guys that make it in there. Let's say that. So if your favorite driver is out on the track, let me tell you right now, they have a chance as we see qualifying start taking their way. Let us know on Facebook here, who are you pulling for tonight? Maybe you're pulling for somebody who we see almost on a weekly basis. There you see Aaron Smith. He's here almost on a weekly basis. But Stephen Harper, not one that we often see. So we got a lot of new guys here tonight and new gal. So hopefully that should translate into some good action.
And speaking of Aaron Smith II, I haven't mentioned this all season, but the point standing, we're finally seeing who's good. And right now, the leader in points, he's got average start of 9th, average finish of 2nd. He's always there. Curtis Critchley, he's the points leader. 2nd in points is Justin Botello. Third, John Garrett. Fourth, Raymond Ridenour the second. Fifth in points is Matthew T. Lee. Sixth is Aaron Smith the second. Seventh, Jonathan Thompson. Eighth, Dalton J. Martin. Ninth in points is Christian Sanford. And then 10th is Andrew Navarro.
Yeah, I already got some shout outs on Facebook. Listen, we're in qualifying, so we'll shout them out here. We got Jay Jensen already has a shout out tonight, and also Dalton Martin getting a shout out. So those guys already have people looking their way, hoping they win.
Now, as we got people looking to see who's going to be the first on the board, there's Garrett Maines getting ready to see how well he can do in qualifying.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's going to do tonight. Garrett Maines, I think, joining us for the first time here on the iSSL Superspeedway Series. We'll see how he can do. Here you see Israel Martinez. He's been up front a couple times here on these Friday night races. So a lot of big names, a lot of names that we're often seeing. Right now we got Alex Link on that top spot. Who knows if it'll hold. He's right now sitting at a 51.062. And we'll let it run just a few more minutes here.
Right, there's other great drivers that can still get on the board. Anthony Cronover, Curtis Critchley, Casey Herring, all still need to get on the board. Second place got William H. Scott Jr., 51.09. Third is Dustin Koffel, 51.12. Daniel Keith Jr. fourth, and then Torrey Thompson in fifth.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, that top five will secure their spot in the main feature. And so it's a really big emphasis here on qualifying. You see Aaron Smith jump to the top of the board, 59.98. The first one we've seen break that 51 second mark. And I'm sure some others will too, but that's the first one we've seen so far.
Like Ron Morris Jr. I was about to say, he gets into third. Jason Nethery in the 34. He gets a 51.03.
Yeah. See Pete Polini there on your screen. Chris Critchley now on your screen, our points leader. Like you said, he's going out to make his run. Looks like he's on his second lap. We'll see what kind of lap he runs.
Yeah, if you look, he has an average starting position of 9th. So he doesn't start in the front necessarily a lot, but throughout the race, he makes his way up through the field and he's there in the end. That's
right. Just getting word now from Facebook, actually, that Jay Jensen is unfortunately not racing with us tonight. So he came on Facebook, so he's watching with us. Thank you for calling out Jay Jensen and letting us know that you're not racing with us tonight. But we also have a shout out for Stephen Harper on Facebook as well.
I'm not sure if Stephen Harper's gotten on the board. Oh yes, he's in 7th in the top 10. A little two positions off the cutoff, but 7th place will get him a good starting position in the heat race. John Garrett, 50.99 gets on the top of the board.
Oh, Raymond Ridenour in that 87 you see on the screen, he takes the top spot right now, 50.94. That's flying around here, folks.
Right, I don't know if we'll get a faster lap than that. That's crazy.
Garrett Maines timed in with a 59.9.
Carson still, Jonathan Thompson, Corey Deal, Brandon Roderick, James Batzer. But with all these good drivers on the board, Dustin, who you got your eye on tonight?
Well, I obviously have my eye on Raymond Ridenour. I mean, he's sitting on the pole right now, but we always see him up front. Travis Martin there having some trouble after his qualifying lap. But Raymond, he is always the talk of the town. Now, that is a beautiful car. I love my Tar Heels. Casey Herring there running that beautiful Tar Heel scheme. But, yeah, Raymond Ridenour for sure. John Garrett, he's always up there. Garrett Maines, like you talked about earlier, the cream will rise, and here in qualifying, it's already risen, as you have Aaron Smith there in the 4th position, looking to lock himself in potentially, unless he gets booted off here. Who do you have your eye on?
Me. I'm going to say Jabo, Justin Botello. He's also up there in the front. He's qualifying 6th, so I do believe he's going to have to go through some heat races. And that's normally how he gets into these features. Justin Botello, he's great at heat races. So I'm going with him.
Yeah, it looks like where he's qualified right now, he will be in a heat race. Can't lock himself in, but he'll be starting up front nevertheless. So I'm sure he'll be there. Matthew T. Lee now. Saw him in the booth last week getting the top 3 position.
Right, the top 5 from last race. Actually, no, I think Matthew Lee finished 4th, but still Justin Botello, Curtis Critchley, Christian Sanford, Matthew Lee, and then Derek Fulton was the top 5 from last race.
Gotcha. I knew he was up there. Travis Powell in 38 making his run. A lot of drivers out here tonight that we haven't seen too much of. Brandon Gagnon is one that we have seen a lot of. He's always managed to make his way up there. I know he got taken out last week kind of early, so looking to redeem himself here tonight.
It looks like with everyone pretty much getting on the board, we're going to go ahead and do our national anthem. Get that up here.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back after that wonderful national anthem performed by Jordan Dean. We're back with about less than a minute to go in qualifying, and looks like everyone who has decided to get on the board has gone on the board. Dalton J. Martin, he did not qualify, and that's a common thing that he does, where he starts in the back of the heat races.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't know if that's because he likes the challenge of going through the field or if he likes to avoid all the wrecks and so he stays behind everybody. But I guarantee you, folks, tonight we will hear his name. Whether it's getting caught up in one of those wrecks or he has made his way all the way to the front. We've seen it multiple times where he'll start in the back and just work his way through. And it's kind of cool to see how a driver can start back there and just make their way through the field like that. Look forward to that for sure. Right now, we got Raymond Rittenor sitting on that top spot as we head into heat number 1.
And before we get started with the starting lineup of heat race number 1, I do want to mention that we are currently at 890 followers on Facebook, which means that we are 10 from 900. So make sure to follow us on Facebook. It would be greatly appreciated as we are on the road to 1,000 by April 27th. So help us get there by dropping a follow. We now have everybody gridding for the heat race. Matthew T. Lee starting on the pole for this one. Christian Sanford starting 2nd. Jonathan Thompson 3rd. Brandon Roderick 4th. Jason Nethery 5th. Brandon Vasquez starting 6th. Heath Snyder 7th. Got Stephen J. Harper 8th, Curtis Critchley 9th. Then we got Matt D. Horton rounding out your top 10. Derek Fulton starting 11th. Starting 12th, we got John Ernst. 13th, we got Oscar Jensen. 14th, Matthew Baker. Rounding out your top 15, we got Pete Pellini. Starting 16th is Casey Herring. 17th, Tim Hendry. Starting 18th is J.R. Deal. 19th, Daniel Keith Jr. And starting 20th, it's Dalton J. Martin.
Man, we got a full field for this heat number 1 we're about to have. Remember now, the top 10 only advance, so 20 cars will start this race. Only the top 10 will proceed to the feature, and only 15 laps to get it done. So it's not a lot. I mean, it is pretty decent. It's 2.5 miles, so 15 laps, about 30 miles. It's a pretty decent race, but nevertheless, it's not like a 60-lap race. You don't have much time to go up there and get things done.
Right, it's a long race, but at the same time, it's a short race.
Yeah, that's right, especially in heat races when you have to make it to the top 10 or your night's done. Just a reminder, every one of these drivers paid hard-earned $25 to be in this night's race, or 2 nights race. And so to not even make it to the feature, that's not a feeling that you want to have.
Right, we'll see how these drivers react to the pressure. I mean, there's so much pressure heading in to all these drivers that are starting outside of the top 10, like Matt D. Horton, John Ernst, Oscar Jensen. They're trying to figure out, man, how am I going to get into the top 10 so I have a chance at? And I forgot to mention the prize pool, $300 payout as always. Got $180 to second, $135 to third, $115 to fourth, $100 to fifth. So that's what these drivers, that's why they're so thirsty to get into the top 10, because then they'll have a chance to win $300. That's a pretty good payday for a Friday night.
Yeah, it definitely is. I just want to point out to our viewers here, so we got 2 things we need to look at. Number 1, we have a Facebook shout out for Colin Williams. And number 2, it looks as though Dalton J. Martin may not be starting this race. I don't see him back there. He is supposed to be in this heat, but he's not back there. They're coming to the green flag, so he may not make the race.
Ooh, that is disappointing there. We'll see if maybe he can get back on the track. But we are... Oh, I forgot. I'm used to Daytona. Got that long start-finish line.
Wait for it.
Here we go. And there we go. Engines revving. Green flag is out here at Talladega for the heat race number 1. We are side by side for first, heading into 1 and 2. Matthew T. Lee has the nose, and he's going to clear the 28 of Christian Sanford on the top, getting a good push from that 03 of Jonathan Thompson. We got the 93 of Brandon. Oh my gosh, we're crashing. Tim Hendry crashed. Not sure what happened to him.
Yeah, and unlike the way it used to be where it would take a lap and a half to get up to speed, with these new non-restrictor plates that we have on here, these tapered spacers that we have, it's 194 as they go into turn 3. They're already up to speed, good to go. It does not take near as long, and Matthew T. Lee, like I said, up to speed, leading this field, looking like he's going to be sitting pretty to lead lap number 1.
Dalton J. Martin has just left the pits, and looks like he's going to go lap down because he missed that start, but he's finally back on the track after missing the gridding.
Well, that's one way to avoid the wrecks.
See if potentially if we have some cautions, he might get the lucky dog and make his way back up through the field.
Yeah, all it would take is 1 or 2 cautions. He'll be right back in this thing. But right now, nobody's able to even touch Matthew Lee on that outside line except Jonathan Thompson. He's the one pushing him. Now, if he wanted to go out to the outside, which looks like he's flirting with it, but he chooses to stay down low. That outside line starting to get some momentum up there, led by that 28 machine right now of Christian Stanford. Stanford, not Stanford. I apologize.
We got that 23 purple car. It's going to be up to him to give 28 of Sanford a good push to try to get him up there in contention with Matthew Lee.
Yeah, they're trying to make it happen. There goes the 3 wide action back there in the back of the pack. You can't see it on your screen, but they're trying to make it 3 wide. Doesn't work, and it looks like he's going to fall back as Matthew T. Lee continues to lead this field down into turn 3.
It's going to be hard to touch him. I believe Matthew T. Lee, he's won a lot of these heat races just because he can sit out front and dominate one like this, like he's doing right now.
Everybody giving a lot of space. I figured I would see a little bit more action, but maybe that's heat 2. If you recall last week, we had a hectic heat 1, and heat 2 was pretty calm, and now it seems like we're having a calm heat number 1. That doesn't bode well for heat number 2. But right now, that outside line led by Christian Sanford trying to get the momentum. They just don't have exactly what they need. I'm not sure what's wrong out there, Atlee.
Now, one thing to keep in mind is the people that are watching, besides the viewers here on Intensity Broadcasting, are those 5 drivers that are already qualified for this race. They don't even have to race the heat race. And I bet they're looking right now and watching Matthew Lee and Jonathan Thompson out there dominating. They're saying, hey, they'd be good pushers and maybe drafting partners during the feature. Yeah,
what concerns me more if I'm watching this, which I am, but I'm saying if I'm in this race, is how that outside line is not moving typically like we typically see. I'm not sure if it's a pusher-puller issue or what's going on out there, but that outside line just seems to stall out right when it gets to that second position.
And they're there right now, side by side with Jonathan Thompson, but like you said, they can't make it further than that.
Which is great if you're Matthew T. Lee. You're happy with that, but I don't know. That's odd to me. As a fellow iRacer, that is odd to me. Usually the outside line can get up and go, but maybe they're not wanting to. You know, they're in the top 10. Why push it?
Right, we'll see how that top line continues to develop. And they finally, there they go. They're getting up there to Matthew Lee.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if you notice, the 23 is not really pushing the 28. That might be the only difference I see. See, he's getting close, but he's not actually pushing him, as to where if you look on the left, that 03 is tucked underneath Matthew T. Lee there. And so that's the only real difference I see.
Yeah, and we'll see all of this continue to develop. And there goes lap car on the high side. Tim Injury officially going another lap down.
Very impressive classy move there, just up out of the way, not trying to get in anybody's way. Appreciate
wide,
that to him.
Or I think we are 3 wide. Oscar Jensen going on that very, very high side. There he is.
That made some contact there too. It's getting a little squirrely. We only have 9 laps to go. Like we said, this is a short little race here, and I would watch out Hardy's car. Woo. You do not want to be touching bumpers with the back quarter.
There they go.
I just said that.
Caution comes out, Dustin. You jinxed him.
I said, do not touch bumpers to right rear quarter panels, or left rear in that instance, and that's exactly what happened. Atlee, we'll get that wreckage replay up for you. And I called it before it even happened. That's not good. I shouldn't do that. I jinxed them, didn't I? I did. But we do have it ready for you.
Check this out. Got that 32. Gets some contact with the 27 of Curtis Critchley. There goes the 5 of Matthew Baker into it all.
Yeah, Matthew Baker had a good run last week. It's a shame to see him in this. Not too big of a wreck. Looks like 2 or 3 cars involved. Not awful.
And Curtis Critchley ends up getting not too much damage. John Ernst, Stephen J. Harper end up going on pit road. But let's go ahead and just check that out one more time. Yeah, just some contact between the 32 and Critchley.
Yeah, it just looks like maybe the 32 was trying to slide up to get the draft off the 23 and just came back down a little bit. And yeah, it happens. They were trying to go 4 wide there almost. So
that's a scary
it's wide, but
situation.
it's not that wide. That's right.
And you can do that at Talladega, but it's very dangerous. do this one more time, but with the cockpit view of Curtis Critchley.
Yeah, so you can see 32, the hardest car in front of him. He's down low and he goes high just to get that draft off the 23. And I can't tell if he comes down a little bit. Maybe it looks like it slightly, but that's all it really takes is slight contact. So, and that's a fun little ride here at Talladega.
Glad nobody got too much damage, but we're back live now, and when the caution flag came out, Matthew G. Lee was the leader. Okay, thank you, Nicholas Ford, for sharing the stream. Appreciate that.
So that reminds me, my mom used to tell me I have to live within my means, right? And any budget guy will tell you to live within your means. That means, hey, if you only make this much, you can only spend this much, right? You can't spend way much more than you make. That just doesn't work. It will crash you every time. And just like that, you can only go into a hole if you have a hole there. It doesn't look like there was too big of a gap, and so that gap closed, and you got to live within your means. You got to race within your means here at Talladega.
Very good analogy of that situation.
See, viewers were not expecting budgeting advice tonight, but that's what they got.
Dalton G. Martin on pit road right now. I think that he's on the pits because I think he got that lucky dog. So he's taking this opportunity to go and get some freshies, maybe some fuel, fix some damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with him on the start there. If it was a strategy call to miss everything, that seems like a weird strategy to me. But
I don't know.
I mean, he did miss the wreck, so I mean, you can't blame him there. But I don't know if he got the lucky dog or not. But if he does, I'm telling you, these guys are in trouble.
Right. Once Dalton J. Martin catches up with the rest of the field, he's a force to be reckoned with. Watch that 318 try to make his way up to the field.
And I have the official standings right now. Dalton J. Martin is on the lead lap again, sitting there in the 19th position.
Got some work cut out for him, but I think he can try to do it.
Yeah, 9 cars is all he needs to make it into that feature. So he's got 9 cars. He's got probably about, let's see if they double file this time. Looks like
Pace cars, lights from the pace car are off.
Okay, there you go. There they start to get settled out. And so we're going to have about 5 laps to go here on the restart.
At the Dogecoin 28 car, best cryptocurrency. That actually reminds me of Josh Wise, who ended up, I don't know, it's a weird story about how Josh Wise, he was in the Dogecoin car, I believe it was 2014, and he was like a start and park car, but everybody liked the Dogecoin, so he was like the most popular driver, and he ended up getting voted into the All-Star race.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing how the social media platform just rose up with Josh Wise because of Dogecoin. You're right. It was crazy. I mean, he beat out some big names that year. I think he even beat out Casey Kane and maybe some others. I mean, it was crazy.
Yep, best cryptocurrency, I'd say. Oh, we're at 893 followers now on Facebook, so we got 7 more to go. 900. We can do this as a community. Again, by the end of this race, we get 900 followers. That'd be awesome.
And I do have a shout out from our national anthem singer. She is watching the race tonight. Always a pleasure to have her on here. She called out Dustin Dean. I don't know who that guy is, but let's go racing here, Atlee. You want to?
Yeah. Let's see what these drivers can do. We're going to have 5 to go. It's a little bit of a 5-lap shootout here at Talladega. Let's see what happens.
getting ready to go green here. They make that long try over work here, and it is up to the leader when he wants to go. So Matthew T. Lee can pull off at any time, but he doesn't want to get too big of a gap as green flag is out, and there he is. He pulls off ahead, and looks like the 28 Christian Sanford will be right behind him.
But you're right. You don't want to get too much of a big gap, or everyone behind you will get a bunch of momentum. Everybody's going to get grouped up, and they'll just fly right by you.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It can happen easily here at Talladega as the cars just get momentum behind you and leave you out to dry. It doesn't look like Matthew did that to himself there, but he definitely could have. But I do say, you know, the 03 and the 04 have been hooked up all night, but now they're not. So who's going to take the lead here? Who's going to win? Is it going to be Jonathan Thompson in that 03, that bright yellow, or is it going to be the 04? Matthew T's led the whole race. Might as well lead the last few here. But I don't think the 03 is going to like that too much.
No, Jonathan Thompson, he's a great super speedway racer. I think he's going to try to make a move here. But it's going to be up to that 29 of Heath Snyder, who wants to give him a good push. It's up to him.
Well, usually I would say I prefer the outside line, but tonight, I don't know. We haven't seen too much of it, you know, prevailing over the inside, but they do have a good run down the back stretch, getting neck and neck with him. As we look back at our transfer position right now, in our transfer position, we have Matt Horton in that 88, and it's constantly changing. So we'll keep a watch of that as well as we come this time by. We'll have 3 laps to go.
And there goes Matt Horton. Curtis Critchley now is in that transfer spot. No, it's back and forth. Jumping back out is Horton.
And as long as they stay double file like that, it will be neck and neck for that transfer position. Now, I was about to say, there's probably going to be some 3-wide action as we get closer to the end of this thing. And I think it's go time now. I mean, there's only 3 laps to go. It's definitely go time now. Now, you don't want to be a part of a caution, but,
right.
I mean, you're back there. It's time to go.
Yeah, Critchley, he's now in that transfer spot, and Matt D. Horton is trying to get something done here. Yeah, this is the best part of these heat races. With 3 to go, watching this back part of the track, shifting in and out, who's in 10th, who's in 11th.
Yeah, we got Facebook predicting that the 03, Jonathan Thompson's going to get it on the outside line. If they can get that momentum going, he can easily take it over. It's just the problem of getting that momentum. Right now, that transfer position is looking at momentum, and it looks like nobody's got it as everybody's just kind of stuck in a New York traffic jam right now.
If the 75 of Oscar Jensen and then Curtis Critchley, they can stay side by side, then they'll have the position. Yeah, someone's got to send it here if they want to win.
We saw some shuffling there, and we see Jonathan Thompson is down to the lead now, by the way, on that inside line in front of his teammate. But back here in the transfer position, things are heating up as they were beating and banging on the backstretch and beating and banging.
Just
now.
Get the one to go. Then if they wreck, caution won't come out.
And
yes, we got to one to go. No.
Man.
Here we go. Brandon Vasquez in the 023. If he can make it by Matt Horton on the high side, he'll get that transfer spot side by side into the back straightaway.
We saw some serious side drafting there trying to make something happen. I don't know if that outside line's going to hold since Jonathan went down in front of his teammate, but there you see the 88 getting a little bit of a nose. 71 didn't help him. John Ernst didn't help him. He's going to try 3 wide. It's not going to work.
Got people crashing. What is going to happen? He got Jensen 3 wide. Oh, we're wrecking.
Oh, the 23 got it.
What?
Brandon Vasquez made it into the transfer position.
Goodness.
Jonathan Thompson came home the winner of heat number 1. Brandon Vasquez took a wild ride after the finish. But there it is. He does cross the line first before he started flipping. And the 88 just slammed into him post-race. I don't know what the 88 could be mad at. It looked like he drove clean. It was the 88 that came down on him, in my opinion. But yeah, there's a wild ride he took. But hey, he gets a new car for a feature, so it'll be good as we
Man,
get
that
ready
was
for heat number 2.
I couldn't have asked for a better heat race. Absolutely love that. But we are now getting ready, like you said, for heat race number 2. And starting on the pole in this one is Justin Botello. Starting second, got Anthony Cronover. Third is Corey Deal. Fourth, got Jeremy Bocci. Starting fifth, got Colin Willems. Then rounding out your top 6 is the 76 of Ron Morris Jr. Starting 7th is Brandon Gagnon. Starting 8th, Jacob Greiner. 9th, Hunter Parsons. 10th, got Alex Link. Starting 11th is Justin Yee. Starting 12th, got the 2 of Andrew Navarro. Starting 13th, Travis Paul. 14th, Travis Martin. Running at your top 15, got James Batzer. 16th, William H. Scott Jr. 17th, got Ismail Martinez. 18th, Dustin Koffel. And 19th, Troy Thompson. So we don't have a full field of 20 here in this heat race.
So that's one less to compete with.
That's right.
One less to compete with, but still the same amount of spots. 10 spots will move forward. You see Justin Botello there in that Fort Worth screen. Oh, wow, I butchered that. Fort Worth screen printing machine. Ron Morris Jr. there as we go back through the field. I'm expecting kind of the same kind of racing here. I hope that it doesn't get any more chaotic than that just got.
Right, that last heat race, I couldn't have asked for a better finish there. Side by side, wrecking across the line. Hopefully we'll see some of the same in this one.
Yeah, and that's what I meant, as I hope it don't get more chaotic, because if it got any more chaotic, we would have saw a big pile up with 2 to go. Because they were beating and banging there, coming to the white flag. Much less the checkered.
All right. Starting on the front row, Justin Botello, Anthony Cronover. See what happens.
Yeah, I think that outside line's going to give a little bit more of a run there than they did in the first heat. That's just my opinion there. Got Jeremy Bucci in the 73 pushing, and he's always a good pusher, so we'll see what they can do on the outside line. He's got the Exalta cars there lined up in second and sixth, so maybe they can work together. But either way, that pace car is coming on off of onto pit road, and we're going to take that long tri-oval to the green flag. Remember, 15 laps, not a lot of time to get things done, but still enough time. If you're back in those positions, let us know on Facebook who you're pulling for in this heat as we get ready for the green.
Tighten those belts one more time, but they don't have time to do that because we're going green. There goes, crossing the line, Justin Botello.
Yeah, Justin Botello either got a really big jump or the 3 was a sleeper there. I can't tell which one. I don't want to throw some hate out there on lap 1, but man, Justin got a really good run. The 3's actually hung out by himself on that outside line right now. Inside line, just the way to go early on at least.
Somebody help that man. He's getting... Oh, there we go. Here comes Brandon Gagnon coming to help him.
Yeah, that Brandon Gagnon in 83. Now, we know that he can push. We've seen him push here on Friday night several times. And as we talk about it, they're in the corner pushing him. And that's going to get some momentum as they come off to complete lap 1. Yeah, look at that push.
As soon as he got to the back bumper, it was go time. Oh, and he cleared him as they crossed the line. Brandon Gagnon, great push there. Gets the 3 into the lead. Now, he's not the pusher, he's the pushed. You got the O, or the 0 of Hunter Parsons behind that 83 machine.
Yeah, now if he can give the same kind of push that Brandon Gagnon just gave, Brandon will easily get up there in the lead, but not everybody is as comfortable as pushing, at least in the corners, as Brandon was there. He must have had some real faith in Anthony Cronover. But as they come to complete lap 2 out of this turn 4 this time, it looks like Anthony's got this lap in the bag.
Yep, I think he's got it right here. But I do think in the next couple of laps, if Hunter Parsons can get that front bumper behind Brandon Gagnon, we will see some movement up there.
Oh yeah, we see more and more cars traveling that outside line, trying to get the momentum started up there. We've got a good double file all the way back to starting in that second position, all the way back to like the 10th, 11th, 12th position. So everybody seems to be calm right now as well. No bumping or beating or no crazy inside-outside line jumps. Everybody's taking it easy right now.
And we only have 12 to go when they cross the line. So it's go time here at Talladega.
Yeah, coming to 11 to go this time by as across the stripe. And it doesn't look like that zero machine of Hunter Parsons really has what it takes to push Brandon to the lead. Now, he doesn't have any help behind him either, as the 24 is way back there. But needless to say, he's going to need some more if he wants to get closer and closer to that front.
We'll see. Continue to watch that development on the high side. So far, Anthony Cronover done a great job keeping that lead away from the high side.
Yeah, back in the back of the pack, the 4 of Jacob Griner, he gets shuffled out as they go 3 wide. And it looks like another car probably gets shuffled out.
What a save!
What a very good save.
No!
Well,
There we go.
You spoke too soon there, Atlee.
Yeah, counted my chickens before they hatched.
They spun into the infield, so no caution yet. And it looks like we will stay green here. Yeah, they all spun down into the infield, and now the caution is out.
Okay.
It is coming from race control. iRacing did not throw a caution because they were out of the way. No harm, no foul. We'll get that wreckage replay and show you exactly what happened. Is everybody saved it there for a second, and then they didn't. Just real quick, we got some shout outs on Facebook. We got some a shout out for Hunter Parsons. Again, we got another shout out for Colin, and oh no on Facebook. I would say that's an oh no moment there. You save it, and then you're right back into it.
So we're getting this replay up. Here we go. Check this out here. And what was oh no about this wreck? Here we go. So we got side by side, 3 wide.
And this is after they already made the first contact.
Right. So they're already like a ping pong ball. And then boing into the 24 of Thompson, then into Willems.
And Willems.
Woo. And there we go. We got spinning.
But a great save overall. He could have easily went into that inside wall. I mean, everybody saved it. I mean, there was no damage.
You have like another side wreck, I believe, right here. Where makes... Oh, no, I thought they were going to make... Oh.
Yeah, everybody seems to get through that unless, I don't know, that looks sketchy right there. But everybody seemed to make it through all right. If I don't see anything that on the standings that would show otherwise. And so, yeah, as we looking at this Superspeedway Series for the iRacing Superstock League, you can be a part of it yourself. You know, it only takes $25. You've got an iRacing setup already. All you have to do is see Ian Martin or the iRacing Superstock League on Discord, and he'll be glad to get you a part of it. We could be saying your name next week here.
Right, it's a pretty good investment for a Friday night. You could invest $25 into this and potentially win $370. I forgot to mention that the lowest incident count in this race, as always, will get $70.
Yeah, and a majority of the time, we'll say it is the winner of the race, and so they get a little extra. But we have seen several cases where it's not the winner of the race, where the winner has gotten into some kind of incident. And we even saw there was one chaotic race, and the cleanest driver finished in like 7th or 8th. And so there is no telling. Depending on how the race goes, you could finish 7th and still take home a clean $70.
We're just flying by through the field to see where
Okay,
you're.
Andrew Navarro was definitely involved in something there.
Oh my gosh, this front end was torn up.
Yeah, I don't think your wheel is supposed to be turned like that. Who, me, Jeremy Bucci. And there's our leader, Anthony Cronover. He has been looking pretty good. He started on the outside of the line and quickly, with the help of Brandon Gagnon, made it
Right.
down to the front and has led every lap since. And I'm sure he hopes to continue that. But we're double file here, coming to a green flag. We'll have 6 laps to go when we do take that green flag. And I hope that finish is just as exciting as last race. That was crazy.
I do want to mention before we go back green, we are still at 893 followers on Facebook, which means that we're still 7 away from 900. So if you haven't already, you're watching this broadcast, you like what you're seeing, make sure to follow us on Facebook, as it is greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. Trying to get to 900 before the end of this race as they're getting ready to take the green flag. I want to mention to you right now, in that transfer position is the 88 of Torrey Thompson.
Like, we do have some people shouting out on YouTube. David Allen shouts out John Garrett in the 66 machine.
Awesome.
So we not only look at Facebook, but also we do have a lot of viewers that watch Intensity Broadcasting on YouTube. So feel free to also shout out on YouTube, and we'll see it and give you a shout out on the broadcast.
Yeah, and John Garrett was one of those cars that qualified into the feature. So he was in the top 5, so he'll be there. He's just not in this heat right now. Be on the lookout for him as we go into the feature. We are coming to 1 to go. I apologize. I thought we were 1 to go that time. Nevertheless, we'll have about 6 laps to go here as we take the green.
Don't pull a Dustin Dean.
Don't pull a Dustin Dean and say you're on the last lap when you're actually on 2 laps to go.
I've done that before too.
That's probably the most embarrassing moment I've ever had as a commentator. And that's why Fox won't hire me. I keep sending my resume. They just won't call me back. I don't know.
Now for NBCSN. Oh, we got someone now following. Thank you for that. We're now, I believe, at 894.
So 6 away. Just 6 more followers until the end of this race. And we'll be at a clean 900.
Before we go green, I want to ask you this, Dustin. Who are your favorite commentators? Do you like the Fox NASCAR commentators or the NBC?
100% NBC. 100%.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they have a lot more quality, like overlays and then the call-in of the races. Love NBC.
Now, I will say I am excited to see Clint Boyer, how he does this year on Fox, and see how he drives well with Jeff. But
that's going to be a hoot.
yeah, I think it'll be fun. But I don't know. They just have such a powerhouse over there at NBC with Dale Jr. and Jeff Burton, Rick Allen. Oh, my goodness, yes. And so it's hard to beat them. And I like their radio style of commentating. Like, that's what I do usually here. And so I prefer that as we're getting ready to green flag racing. It's back in the air.
There we go, side by side as they cross the line. Good restart. Justin Botello in that 20 machine. As the noses
crazy
winner wanted to.
restart. I thought he was going to clear there as he got such a good restart. But 83 of Brandon Gagnon pushing that 3 of Anthony Cronover. And so they're looking to maintain the lead. But that look at Corey Deal on the back bumper of Justin Botello right now.
I was just looking at the screen. Looks like we have 2 more followers, so we only have 4 to go. And we got another one. Oh no, that's liking the stream, but still, we only have 4 left for 900.
And you saw there, break of momentum by Justin Botello and Corey Deal. So it looks like right now they'll get single file and be okay here for a little bit.
Right. I think right now is the time where everybody's thinking, hey, if I'm going to make it to the end and be able to make it to the feature, I'm gonna need to save my car. And the field's very spread out right now. In that cutoff spot is the 64 of Justin Yee, and he has a big gap between him and 10th place Jacob Greiner.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially if you're in that top 5, that single car pack. I want to stay single file, and I'm content staying in the top 5 so I can make it. Now, we do have a second pack that's about to catch that first pack you see there right at the top of your screen. And then this is the third pack. So, and as that second pack catches the first one, we already see them double filing, trying to make a run. Justin Botello leading that outside line, as we only have 5 laps to go this time.
I do want to shout out, we did get another follower, so we only have 3 to 900. We're not even done with the heat races yet, so keep them coming.
If you are our 900th follower, Atlee will personally finish calling this race with me. See what I did there? That was the whole bait and switch.
I will. Personally.
Personally? Wow.
Yes, I will personally.
And just like that, that Ford Jacob Greiner has caught up with that lead pack. It
Lap
happened
car.
quickly. Yeah, I hope that lap car stays up. Whoa, I thought it was coming down there for a second. Yeah, stay up out of the way. There you go. Jacob Greiner just riding back there. He's in that transfer position right now. Started in the 8th position. And he's where he wants to be. All the way back there is Justin Yee in 11th. He's got the 73 helping him there with Jeremy Bucci. But I don't know if they're going to be able to catch him right now. They've got such a good run up front. And there's only 4 to go. I just don't see it.
Unless maybe they could hook up with that lap car and maybe get something going.
Well, there's always the potential of a wreck, too.
That is
would
true.
completely, completely bring them back into it. But as of right now, they need desperately to start doing something here to catch back up.
But those top 10 have to be thinking, they see that gap between them and Justin Yee, and they're like, hey, if we stay clean, then he won't be able to catch us.
I'm telling you what, if they get as we see Corey Deal there taking the lead, they catch just a little bit of momentum, a little bit of draft, I think they may catch them at the perfect time, as they're all double file. Justin Yee and Jeremy Bucci are catching them little by little as they're running single file. And so when they get there, I think they'll have enough time. I was wrong. They're there. They're already there, yeah.
Ooh. All right, so now this is going to get exciting. Here comes Justin Yee. And then we also got William H. Scott Jr. And they have caught up to Torrey Thompson.
Now the 44 there you see on your screen, is that a lap car there?
That is not a lap car.
Okay. Oh, I don't like getting close to that corner panel. Whew.
Now Justin Yee's in that transfer spot and Torrey Thompson's out. But if they can hook up and get a good run, then maybe, I don't know. But if Justin Yee and the other car, oh! Willem, save it! No, we're wrecking. And we got people flipping.
Whoa, one in the fence.
Caution's out.
Colin Willems in that 17 was the first to be involved in that. As we saw him go down on the apron, and we'll get that wreckage replay and see exactly what happened. Right now, it is showing Corey Deal as your leader, Justin Botello in that second position, Anthony Cronover in third, as we take a look at exactly what happened here.
I don't know. Let's watch that 4 car. As we enter the turns, he's in the apron, which is a terrible place to be when you're like in the turns. Oh, looks like maybe the 63 of Travis Martin gets a little bit loose.
Yeah, he got clipped there by the 7 of James Batzer. Yeah. Let's see if James gets by here.
See that again. Quarter panel contact. There it is.
Gotta love it. But he's a Harvick fan. What you think?
I mean, that was one of the best paint schemes of the 2020 season. I did like that for the farmers.
And it looks like...
Ooh, yeah.
turned late to avoid him there, and that's what got that. There goes James Batser. He does clear him. And you see the 17, Colin Williams. He
Ooh.
gathered it just back enough to where he's okay now.
We talk about William H. Scott going on a wild ride.
Oh yeah. And I said it last week. It's never good if you're looking at blue sky in a race car. It's never good.
It might seem like a pretty thing, you know, looking at the clouds and stuff, but going
Well,
at
actually,
200 miles per hour and looking at the clouds, that's scary. Look at this.
well, when you're up there minding your business and it happens, I mean, right there, I don't think he ever actually looked at the clouds. He looked more at the
No.
asphalt here.
Whoa, yeah, he's staring right at the asphalt. That's not a pretty view. See all those sparks flying.
So
Man,
as I watch his throttle, I'm very proud of him. Most people just keep the throttle reared up, but he didn't. He took it off to collect it.
there's not much you can do when you're flying in the air.
That's exactly right. We will be at our first attempt at a green white checker here for heat number 2. We're on lap 16 of 15 right now, so we're already in overtime. And looking like it's going to be Corey Deal leading the show as they return to green flag racing.
On his paint scheme, looks like his nickname is Corey, and I quote, the real deal.
Wow. He came up with that himself. You know he had to.
That is, I mean, that's where having a great last name comes into play.
That's true. I mean, they always call me Dustin Dean, the driving machine. You know, so I'm just kidding. Nobody's ever called me that. I'm going to go cry now.
No, you were the iOS champion.
Well,
That's true. So,
you see Jacob Griner, he got a fresh car. And looking like he'll be able to try to make something happen at least. He's sitting in that 16th position right now. And so it's not over for him. All he's got to do is pass 6 cars in 2 laps. It's doable. Not fun, but doable.
you say looks like William H. Scott is done for the day. He's been on pit road for 3 minutes and 9 seconds, and I don't think there's any coming back from that. He had a ton of damage with all that flipping and stuff. Looked like a modified.
Yeah, I'd say his night is done.
It's not good when you're racing on a super speedway and you see someone looking like a wheeling modified.
That's right. Well, we say qualifying doesn't matter too much here at Talladega, but I have to point out that our top 3 right now started top 3. So, although we've seen a lot of moving and shaking, our top 3 is still our top 3.
Right. And I think if they stay clean here in this green white checker, they'll, I think, all right, any predictions? Will the top 3 right now be the top 3 when we finish?
I don't know, but I will say I don't think that was our last green white checker.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and call. We'll have a second one here. I saw a lot of drivers getting antsy to get up there, and that's only gonna intensify as we move here to our second green white checkered. Race control is on the radio right now, trying to settle all the drivers down. Tell them calm down. This is just the heat, not the feature.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, tell that to the guy who's running 13th right now.
That is true. I mean,
I
you want that $300, maybe $370.
Yeah, that white car there on the outside, top of your screen, or middle of your screen, I should say, is the 73 of Jeremy Bucci. He's in that 10th position right now, but I know that 7 car of James Batser looking to take over that position. He wants to get in this transfer spot. And even Colin Williams, like we just talked about, in the 17, he is in the 17th position, but he still has a shot.
Right, watch out for that 7 car James Batser. We'll see what he can do.
Either way, it's going to be good here as we're coming off of turn 4, and that pace car going to slipper and slider on the pit road. Don't forget, Intensity Broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, trying to get up to 900 likes tonight. And Atlee's going to personally call the race with me, so that's an honor. There it is, Facebook, Intensity Broadcasting. Go follow us on there, and we'll be thankful for it.
Wait, so are you intending that all these other broadcasts I haven't personally called it with you?
No, I can tell that you're calling the race, but you're not personally doing it with me, Atlee. You know, just.
And
But if we
you're
get
back
to 900, yeah, if we get to 900, we will. 900 likes, but for right now, Corey Deal, I like that restart. Man, he took a big, huge jump. That might come back to hurt him here. Justin Matello looking for that top spot. He's getting a good run. I don't think he's going to take it. As we look back at our transfer position, right now it's crazy. The outside line seems to be the place to be, as they have 3 cars versus 1. I can tell you who's going to win that battle.
Or not. Looks like the 38 is holding his own, Travis Paul. But James Batzer, he needs to get by that 63 and he'll be in 10th. And oh, they cut down in front of him.
Yeah, Travis Martin right now in that 63, holding it steady right there as we come to 1 lap to go. This time by, they haven't taken it yet, but they're all single file. So it should be, yes, white flag, 1 lap to go here in heat number 2. What's James Batzer going to do here?
I don't know. I mean, he's in a pretty tough situation where he's got a big gap between him and that 63, and he has nobody behind him to help draft him, so I don't know what he's going to try to do. Get some good momentum. There he is, sucking up to that back bumper. Try to side draft, maybe?
I would have did a crossover there. I would have faked him out, went high, and then took it really low. But it may work out for him. He's got some help up there now. 73 of Jeremy Bacci takes it up there. And James Batzer's going to push him. Going to try. Oh, gets into him a little bit. Going to try to push him. You can't back off now. I think the Tri-Oval's really going to help him on the outside line.
They make contact into Eddie Morris. The 63 is going to get that final transfer spot.
Travis Martin, like you said.
Not Eddie Morris. Travis Martin. Wait. No.
Travis Martin, yeah. The 63 will get that final position. Ron Morris is actually 2 laps down and 18th.
Right, but he played a huge part in what happened here. He thought he was just going to get lapped like normal, but no. And looks like we can't get the replay because we're gridding for the feature.
Yeah, just like that. But I will say, man, James Batzer tried to give it all he could there. He made a couple of little contacts with the 72, but nevertheless, couldn't make it happen. And that's the unfortunate part about it.
Now here we go. Ready for the starting lineup. Starting in first, we have Raymond Ridenour II with a 50.942. Starting second with Fort Worth Screen Motorsports, got John Garrett. Starting third, got Garrett Maines. Fourth, Aaron Smith II.
In fifth, we have Crystal King in the 278. In P6 will be Jonathan Thompson in that 03 car. In seventh, we have Corey Deal in the 44. And the 8th position tonight will be Matthew T. Lee in the 04 machine.
J-Bo, Justin Botello starting 9th, and rounding out your top 10, we have Christian Sanford. Starting 11th is Hunter Parsons. 12th, we have Brandon Roderick.
Anthony Cronover, who we saw very strong, will start P13 in that 3 car. Heath Snyder in the 29 will start P14. Brandon Gagnon in the 83 will start off 15th. And 16th, Jason Nethery in the 34.
And starting 17th, we have Justin Yee. 18th with B-Leaf Racing. We have Curtis Critchley starting 19th in the 24. We have Alex Link. And outside of him, in 20th, we have Derek Fulton.
Yeah, starting P21 will be Travis Paul in the 38th. We have Oscar Jensen in the 75 machine starting P21. Jeremy Bucci in the 73 starting 23rd. 24th will be Brandon Vasquez in the 23 machine, and starting rolling off P25. Rounding out the field, Travis Martin, who we just saw in dramatic fashion, getting that final transfer position in heat number 2. Be very cool to see what he does, see if he can make his way through the field.
Ooh, looks like Jason Maines has followed. So it looks like I think we have only 2 left for 900. So we're finally entering into this race. I estimate it's going to be about an hour of racing. So when the checkered flag waves, let's see if we can get to 900. Here we have the front row, Raymond Ridenour II And then outside of him, John Garrett. Then we got Garrett Maines, Aaron Smith, Jonathan Thompson, Crystal King. What's going to happen here?
Well, you have to remember that top 5, they did not qualify, or well, they did qualify so good that they didn't have to qualify their way in heat races. So they have watched everything unfold. They've seen who can push, who can't push. They've seen who to watch out for potentially. But either way, I think if I'm in that top 5, I just want to stay there. I'm not even worried about the back 24 cars, or excuse me, 19 cars. I'm not worried about them. I want to be out front this whole race. That pace car is going to duck on off. He's not going to be in the front anymore. And we're going to get the green flag racing, like you said, 30 laps, and it's all going to start right here.
Here's the interesting development. Justin Botello is on pit road and he hasn't come off.
Wow. So is he pulling a Dalton Martin trying to avoid this first crash or not? I don't know. Either way, we're getting that green flag. It is out now. Raymond Rentenier fires up that engine. He's going to see what it can do as they drive off into turn 1.
Oh, here goes a 3 wide. Aaron
Smith
is second. Wow.
Yeah, didn't mean to cut you off there. I just saw one in the wall up there. I don't know what happened.
Looks like with that 3 wide decision, falling way behind the rest of the field. Look back up front, we're single file, but it looks like top line might be forming. Nope, we stay single file. Oh, there's Jonathan Thompson on the high side. He's getting a push from, I believe, the 93 of Brandon Roderick.
Justin Botello is out on the track right now, so it looks like, it doesn't look like he's going to lose a lap at least yet. So it might be trying to avoid an early wreck here, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen, as everybody seems to be kind of settling in here. Got a couple cars trying to make it work on the outside, and they do, as the outside line forms very quickly, and they have all the momentum right now.
Here comes Garrett Maines, getting a good push from Matthew T. Lee. Let's see what happens. All right, he's clear of that 87 machine of Raymond Ridenour, and he's also taken Matthew T. Lee with him. Can they get Jonathan Thompson? No, they're going to go down and take the lead here.
Yeah, they're going to leave Jonathan Thompson out there to drive, but the 93 of Brandon Roderick right behind Jonathan Thompson, trying to get him out front now. Now we've seen, didn't see it a whole lot in that first heat, but we've seen the outside line can work if you have the right pushers behind you. And it all depends right now who is pushing. Brandon Roderick, he's got a couple of help back there, but I don't think it's enough just yet.
Right, they're going to need some more reinforcements if they want to get a good run here. Or not, here they come.
I'm impressed with the 3 wide action we're seeing back there.
Right, and they've not wrecked.
That's right. Now, that 3 wide is slowly dwindling back down to 2 wide, as a lot of drivers can't make it work up on that high line. Oh, but boy, they're getting awful close to that left rear quarter panel, and that makes me nervous, Atlee.
I know that you have PTSD with left rear quarter panels.
That's exactly what it is.
I do too. I mean, when I see that left rear quarter panel, I get scared.
I don't even like left rear quarter panels. I think we should take them off the cars. Obviously, that wouldn't help anything, but still, like you said, it's the PTSD. It gives me tremors and shakes every time I see one. Dustin Dean's got jokes tonight, folks.
That's where they put all the sponsors, like the lowest. That's where they put. Oh. My dad actually sponsors a modified, and he is on the left rear quarter panel. And there's
That's
a lot of bumps and bangs there.
Exactly. Let me tell you who's not joking, though. Jonathan Thompson trying to make it work on that outside line. Hasn't made it happen yet. Just like we saw in Heat 1, just kind of getting stalled out there at the second position. As I say that, tries to make his way up to the front, but no, he's not going to have enough, and he's going to fall back probably all the way line with the third position. Maybe even more here. That outside line has no momentum right now.
Yeah, 93 of Brandon Roderick has to get to that back bumper of Jonathan Thompson. Get him a good push if he wants to get out front.
Yeah, and you can't be afraid. I know it's a 30 lap, which is more than we usually see in the heat races. At least it's double, in fact. Math, yeah. But you can't wait around too long here. I mean, you can't be scared to push, is what I'm trying to say. You can't be scared to make something happen, even though it is a 30-lap race. You have one fast repair in the bank, so why not go up there and try to make it happen, see what your car can do, what it can't do, because right now, sitting up there in that high line, not really working for them.
Right, we only have 25 to go. It may seem like a long time, but still, a lot can happen in 25 laps.
Yeah, you see him making three wide out there is 75 of Jensen. He's got help out there, so they may make it happen. You can really get good momentums coming off the turns if you can hold it steady, and everybody around you can hold it steady. As we see, holding it steady was hard there for one driver. Looked like Raymond Rittenauer.
It was. Looks
That'll
like
break
that
up that
bottom
inside
is
line.
falling behind. Only 3 cars out there. Will we see the top line take advantage of this? Oh, and a little bit loose is that 34 of Jason.
But you see what I'm saying? That outside line really got some momentum. I'm talking about the third line way up there. If they can hold it together, they can really make a run here. As that outside line has the momentum like no other. You see them catching not only the second place car, but that first position of Garrett Maines as well. If they can just hold it steady out there, we might see some 3-wide racing for a while here.
Look at this. I mean, this is the first time that we've really seen this all season, where a great run by that third line. I'm loving it.
You're exactly right. And I'm telling you, if that outside line can keep it up like they are, they're not only going to pass second place of Jonathan Thompson here, they're going to make it right up there to Garrett Maines. Easily.
Yeah, I think maybe if Jonathan Thompson, looks like he had a chance maybe to clear these guys, but he didn't. So can the high side get a good run, maybe pull in front of Jonathan Thompson, and that'll give him a good enough push to get out in front of Garrett Maines?
Outside line, that's all it takes for that third line, though, to lose all their momentum. That's the problem with being up there. That inside line, you got the shortest way around the track. The outside line, you have to push extra hard to even keep it up there. And so that's the tough part about it. You saw just a wiggle, and they lost all that momentum that they had gained. Same for the second row, though. I mean, every time they get up there, they seem to just to squirrely a little bit, and all that momentum is gone.
We have a driver's shout out on Facebook from Nikki Barth. Cronover says, cheers for my hubby, Anthony Cronover. Right now, Anthony Cronover is in 17th. Still a lot of race left. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He led a lot of that second heat, and so we know he can get up front and take care of business. See how long it can take here. Get him up there.
That top side of Jonathan Thompson get a good run. With 21 to go, I do have an announcement. I am going to be calling this race personally, because we have hit 900 followers on Facebook.
Personally? Wow. Folks, I want you to take notice here of how Atlee's demeanor will change for the second half of this race, as he will call it personally.
Right, I feel like you're going to see a little bit of an attitude change. It's going to give me a better point of view of everything.
Oh my
New
goodness.
philosophy.
A new outlook on life Atlee has now.
Thank
Wait
you.
till we hit 1,000 subscribers, folks.
That's going to be mind-blowing. Literally mind-blowing. But looks like still Garrett Maines in the lead. And that third line is still holding strong. Hasn't been able to get out in front of Jonathan Thompson.
Yeah, got a good run that time, though.
Watch this straightaway.
Now, if that 75 of Jensen does clear Thompson, the question then becomes, is he going to jump right down in front of Thompson and hold that second line, or if he's going to stay up there and try to make it work on that third row? Right now, I'm staying on that third row. That's where I like to be, on that high line, high, wide, and handsome out there. Oh, he almost cleared Thompson, and I think that answered my question. He's going to try to jump down there. And
we're
got
4 wide. Uh-oh,
Well,
yeah, that's a problem. There we go.
Yep. I was gonna say he's gonna. Oh, saw Anthony Cronlover involved in that. No, he's got a supporter out there. We'll get that wreckage replay going on here. 4 wide is very dangerous, even at Talladega, as you saw right there. Just takes one mistake, and it looked like after the Jensen was trying to get down in front of Thompson, looked like he might have got himself hung out to dry, and that's what started the 4 wide action to begin with. As we'll go back and take a look at that right here.
Yeah, here's the entire turn of events from a very personal point of view here. At that 75, moving down, trying to clear the 03 Jonathan Thompson on the bottom. But he didn't commit, really.
Well, I think it was smart on his part not to commit. I mean, with the runs and momentums, you're never actually really clear when you do that. But it looks right here, yeah.
Then we're 4 wide, which is, I mean, we can do 3 wide at Talladega. We saw that, but 4 wide is a little bit dangerous. And make some contact between the 93 and the 73. They get up into that 23 of Curtis Critchley.
Yeah, looks like maybe the 83, I think it was, or the 23. Looks like he maybe didn't know that they were 4 wide. And so that's how quickly things can happen here, though.
They're bouncing off each other like pinballs. You can see the engine of Curtis Critchley through his hood. You know, that's not a good situation when you can literally see the engine of the car.
Usually, that's not a good thing. On a scale of 1 to 10, that's probably about a 9, being bad.
So here's a view of this wreck from Brandon Vasquez. Right now, he sees smoke and sparks, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And we'll see, can he make it through?
He turns left and prays, first
there
of all.
We go.
But it doesn't look like that was the thing to do here, as we see multiple cars getting involved in it from doing that. And it looks like he might just come to a stop here. That's what I'd do if I was him. Lock her down, and he does lock her down, locks up the brakes there. And yeah, I would rather go in, change a fresh set of tires than lose a race car.
See, looks like Brandon Vasquez also has a great personal mindset, great philosophy, and he locks it up.
That's right. Let me tell you who's not locking it up right now. Our star leader, Garrett Maines. He might be locking up the win, but that's about the only thing he's locking up right now. Is he's been very strong, led a lot of laps here tonight. Keeping it down on the inside line has really proven effective. Matthew T. Lee right behind him stayed right there with him the whole time. Jonathan Thompson now, he will be on the inside line on this restart. That is if nobody pits, which I don't see why they would. But if nobody pits, Jonathan Thompson will start on the inside this time. So it'll be cool to see how Matthew Lee will do on that outside line versus Jonathan Thompson.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. Garrett Maines, those of you who don't know, he's actually an iRacing Coca-Cola Series Pro driver.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I've been in a couple leagues with Garrett before, back before he was a Coke Series driver, and let me tell you, this man right here can drive a race car, both in simulated world and in real world. So as we go through the field, we will
see where everybody is.
See where everybody is. That's right. I'm listening to race control. That's why I keep pausing.
Any juicy drama?
No, none of the sorts. We got a couple people mad as usual during a wreck, but other than that, no.
That kind of stuff happens. We'll see where your favorite drivers continue to shout out who you're going for. Eric Fulton, Justin Botello, Dogecoin, Christian Sanford.
And remember, Justin Botello started on pit road, so he is back in the thick of things. He's in 17th position right now. Corey Deal. Saw him win that heat number 2.
Oh no, was that the Dalton J. Martin strategy there?
Well, it didn't work out for Dalton tonight,
Right.
but we have seen it work out for him before, where he'll start out, miss everything, and still come in.
We'll see what happens to J-Bo.
I wouldn't count him out for sure. As well, we're getting close to halfway, and he's in 17th. I wouldn't count him out.
Garrett Maines chose the outside here on this restart. I think he's going to try to get a good jump here and then pull in front of Matthew Teeley, and then they'll be together again. That's what I think he did.
Well, yeah, but you have to think that Matthew T. Lee and Jonathan Thompson are also teammates as well, and so there could be a 3-way team here. So that would leave Raymond Rittenauer and Brandon Roderick in the 93 on that outside line, if Garrett Maines does indeed pull down in front of these two. So that would leave really the rest of the field battling these 3 cars, trying to take the lead away from them.
I do confirm that no, Jonathan Thompson is not working together with the 04. The only other teammate between these guys are Curtis Critchley in that 27. Oh, and also Derek Fulton as well.
Okay, well, my bad. Their cars look very similar, and they're 03, 04, so I just assumed. That was my bad for assuming there. You know what they say. Assuming will make you be wrong. And I don't think we're wrong about Garrett Maines jumping down here to the inside line. As you can see, Matthew Lee giving him a clear shot right there.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that might have been a little too obvious there.
I've watched so many races that when somebody chooses the outside line, that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, you got to work a little bit better on your choreography there, guys, if you want to make out not look so obvious. But nevertheless, the plan worked out, and it all seems to be okay. As that inside line is just that. It's the inside line, and that's it for now. Well, Jonathan Thompson says, I'm not happy sitting here. He ducks to the outside. Looks like he's going to be left out there for now. The 29 right now. Heath Snyder trying to catch him. But he'll drop back a little bit here.
All right, let's see what Heath Snyder can do. Hook up with Jonathan Thompson. Let's see if he can push him out to the front. Now, I will say that Matthew Lee, out of all these other cars on the track, he may be the best pusher that I have ever seen.
Oh, yeah, and that's what's kept Garrett Maines out there for so long. I mean, he's been on his back bumper this whole time, just pushing.
And he does that every week, too.
Yeah, you're right. He does it every week to whoever he's behind. Yeah, you're right.
But right now, speaking of pushing, here comes the 29 and 03 trying to take the lead from Garrett Maines, which he's had for a very long time.
He's got a good run right now. Jonathan Thompson on the outside line. Can't make it work just yet. Man, you're right. Matthew Lee's just giving such good pushes in all the right places to Garrett Maines. And it really does matter where you push. You can get the best runs, obviously, in the straightaway. So you want to be ready to push coming off that corner. And that takes skill to be able to be right there, ready to push coming off the corner. And yeah, you can see him give just a little bit here in the corner. Watch Matthew T. Lee gives just a little bit. Gets ready. As soon as he comes off the corner, boom, he's there, ready to push.
Right, that's definitely, if you want to start racing in the iRacing Superstock League, Superspeedway Series, you gotta learn how to push, because that's how winners are thrown. Who can be a good pusher?
Yeah, and I always find it easier to drag the brake instead of letting off the gas. Now, it is a little bit different since they stopped doing restrictor plates. It doesn't affect you as much, but I've always just liked dragging the brake. But Jonathan Thompson seeming to be neck and neck with Garrett Maines right now. It might take another lap here. I don't know if he can hold it. Outside line starting to break up just a little bit of their momentum.
We'll see how this continues to develop as we're now nearing 10 to go here. It's go time. Everybody who's been holding back, just waiting to avoid the wrecks and everything, it's go time now. You gotta get back up to the front, try to win this race. Whoa, got people moving up.
Wow.
Whoa, this is whew.
A great heads up by everybody there not to cause a huge wreck.
that'll wake you up. Like getting water poured on you or a slap in the face there. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, especially at Talladega where you're just trying to, take it easy, trying to watch everybody beside you, and then all of a sudden, you're in a position where you got to watch out what you're doing or you're gonna wreck. It can definitely wake you up for sure.
That's why being smooth and steady with the wheel can be a great advantage where, like, even if something bad happens, you don't, like, start jerking it around. And here comes Jonathan Thompson on the high side.
Oh, he's got that run now. I don't think he clearly wants to, though, the 29. Oh, that was just about a big wreck right there. Wow. Wow, Justin Yee in the 64 really gave Heath Snyder a break. That could have been really, really bad.
Yep. And again, he was getting very, very close to the, I can't even say it.
The left quarter panel.
Yep. Continued.
It was hard.
Hopefully we can have that part of the car that will not be named, will not be touched by the front end of the other car.
That's exactly right. And that's what I meant earlier. I mean, you have to push in the right place at the right time. And if that messes up, then you can certainly cause a big one, which we just about saw back there. 64. Oh, go ahead.
No, it looks like Aaron Smith, the second, he was at one point running that third line. I think he's fallen behind now. Not since that heat race. Nobody's been able to make it work. I think it was this race where people were running that third line. But since then, nobody's been able to make it work just because after they tried to clear, the wreck happened. I think just everybody's nervous to start doing that again.
Yeah, you're right. We're coming to 10 to go, though. If they're going to make it happen, it's time. Well, we're at 10 to go right now, actually. So it is go time, like we said earlier. If you're going to make that 3-wide work, it's time to go. We see the 63 trying to make it happen up there. Doesn't have the help he needs, so he will fall back. Justin Mettello in that 20, he's making it slowly back up to the front. We'll see what he can make happen.
Yep, Justin Mettello. Again, he started on pit road, had an interesting strategy. I'm excited to see if he can potentially make it up to the front.
But up at the front, Jonathan Thompson still trying to take that lead away from Garrett Maines. Not making it happen. Heath Snyder giving him all the help he can get. But you see there, as you look on the right, you see the gap between Jonathan and Heath Snyder. There just wasn't that same gap with Garrett Maines and Matthew Lee down on the bottom. And that's
like a bigger gap between the 1 and the 04.
Yeah, but watch as they come off the corner. Boom, right there. I mean, he's right there ready to push. And that's what's really been keeping him. Now, I have to admit, the 29 and the 04 or 03 of Jonathan Thompson had a better run that time. And so it looks like he may be able to get neck and neck here with him. But down into the corner, he just can't make it. Can't get enough momentum to make it happen out there. That's the tough part about it.
And we'll see, continuing on, how this race develops. Can the 03 of Jonathan Thompson clear Garrett Maines, or can Matthew T. Lee be the champion pusher? I mean, if Garrett Maines wins, I think he's going to have a lot to say about Matthew T. Lee, thanking him.
Don't look now. You got Justin Mettello leading the third line out here. He's got the 75 who was out there earlier pushing him. They're making their way slowly back up to the front here on the outside line. If they can hold it together out there, they can make it work.
Go. Let's see what happens. John Garrett goes up there with his Fort Worth screen printing teammate. There goes Brandon Gagnon up there. There goes Heath Snyder up there. What in the world? We got so many people up on that third line.
And you would think having all those people up there help it, but it actually hurts it. Everybody's having to check up, and that's going to break that momentum that they have up. Yeah, and so as you can see, they're starting to fall back a little bit further now. But if they can get the momentum back together, get that energy happening again, maybe something could happen. But too many cars out there is actually not a good thing.
Right. Because everybody, I mean, like I said, there's a saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And that's the same thing goes for Superspeedway lines.
Yeah, that's right. We already covered budgeting, and now we're covering hardware and tools.
My point of view has changed, remember?
That's right. You get more personal with it. I tell you what, Heath Snyder on that outside, that third line is making it work right now. Getting a good push from right behind him. Can't see quite who that is. The 83. Yeah, Brandon Gagnon. Oh, saw a little movement down there on that inside line. Got a little loose. Was the 93. Brandon Roderick. He handles it back up with 3 wide right now for the lead.
Wow, this is crazy. Can Brandon Gagnon get a good push and get by the 03 of Jonathan Thompson? Next lap, I think.
I say that outside line's going to show something for him here. If they can get it together, I'm pulling for that outside, that third row to actually make something happen, because that's when it really gets fun, is when all 3 lines are up there. And anybody's got a chance to win this thing. We're coming down to 4 laps to go this time by. It's been a lot cleaner than I thought it would be. And still, right now, as we come to 4 laps, it's getting more intense out with.
Go time,
I'm
everybody.
getting excited.
It's go time. Let's get it. See what happens here with 4 to go. And the high side has fallen off.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. They still have the same amount of cars. They're just, the 83 still pushing that 29 just like he has been. It just seems like the other lines have gotten tighter, and that's what's prevailed. Jonathan Thompson and looked like the 64 Justin Yee disconnected there for just a second. You can see Garrett Main's really pulling ahead now. Well, as I say that, they get that energy back together. Jonathan Thompson might have enough energy this time to actually lead this lap. Doesn't look like he's going to make it happen.
Yeah. Oh, no. I think the lap went to Jonathan Thompson. Just a little bit, I think. Now Garrett Main's back in the lead with 3 to go.
8 1,000ths of a second Garrett Maines led that lap. So you're right, it was stupid close, but man, he's got the run, he's got the momentum. Justin Botello, you see there peeking his way on that 3rd lane.
Here come.
Coming this time. Got 2 to go, coming off turn 4.
Looks like Crystal King might have been talking about.
Justin Yee making it 3 wide.
What?
He takes it from Jonathan Thompson.
Wow.
I bet Jonathan never expected that
4
wide.
No, hang in there. I want to make it to 1 to go.
Oh, they're back to 3 wide. Man, that was tight. Good driving by everybody.
Save it.
Justin Yee got loose. Oh, there it is.
No.
Wow. Wow. We were about to see the cleanest race we've ever seen here at the Superspeedway Series. But instead, caution will come out. We'll go back and see exactly what took place there, or took place. I think it all started when they were trying to, Justin Botello on the outside was trying to take advantage of the broken momentum of Jonathan Thompson, and it just didn't work out for the people behind him as everybody started, the chain reaction was taking effect there. And even though it is a wide track, we'll show you right now why 4 wide doesn't work.
Yeah, so watch that 64 Panda Express car of Justin Yee leaves the 03 of Jonathan Thompson out to dry, and here we are, 4 wide. But now it looks like we're 3 wide. And we thought that everything was calmed down, and then the 64 of Justin Yee gets loose.
Great save by him, by the way.
Right. But then I think Crystal King moves up the track a little bit. And there's 4 wide. Then we got the 27, Curtis Critchley.
Jonathan Thompson and the 03 goes around. And not as big as wreck as it could have been there.
Right. It could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, really good heads-up driving the whole race from everybody. And, yeah, more happens back there. You see Crownover involved in another one
the
here.
cone.
And the blue cone is taken out again.
63-23 into the inner safer barrier. Your typical super speedway Talladega wreck.
Yeah. The only thing that was missing that time was somebody getting on the roof. Oh, me. Well, that was your wreckage replay. And as we take a look back here at the front, we have Garrett Maines, your leader. Second is the 04 Matthew T. Lee. Third, Raymond Rittenauer, who we haven't mentioned a lot tonight, but he has been up there the whole time. He's been right behind Matthew and Garrett this whole time.
So
And
here's a point of view to put in
yeah,
your noggin. So here's before even Jonathan Thompson got left out to dry.
yeah. You see, Justin Yee, he's gonna take it down here. Sees a hole open, a gap open, and he's gonna try to fill it here, and leaves Jonathan Thompson out to dry. That's what starts this whole thing. And so, in my opinion, that's not a gap you want to take. With I know we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. In fact, we're going into overtime with the green white checkered. But good heads up move by Jonathan Thompson by letting him down there and not trying to call something.
Right. And we made it a lot farther than maybe other leagues that could have gone. There were a lot of great things avoided. Netcode maybe with between Crystal King and Jonathan Thompson.
Yeah, you see Justin Mattello not wanting to get behind anybody. He's just going to keep it up there with Heath Snyder. And 4 wide right now, and then they go back to 3 wide. And I thought everything would be okay at this point.
Yep. I thought just the same as you. I thought everything was settled out, and then Justin Yee swings it around. But that's not the main thing. Watch Curtis Critchley in the B-Leaf 27. I think Crystal King trying to avoid it, makes contact with the 03, and then that spins everybody around, and there you go.
Yeah, tough to call who that was on. It definitely looks like Curtis thought it was clear down there and went low, and that started a whole nother chain of events. But man, it looked like a wreck was inevitable anyways there.
All right, I have a little prop bet right here. Will Garrett Maines choose the outside?
All right. Let us know now on Facebook.
I think he will.
Well, if him and Matthew are, like they have been the whole race, are planning on working together, I think it's probably guaranteed that he's going to start on the outside.
Lights on the pace car have gone off. Here we go, Bingo Banco. Chooses the high side. And he's going to do the exact same thing just as last restart, where he's going to have like this very, very humongous gap, very unrealistic gap between him and Matthew T. Lee, and he's just going to pull down, and yeah.
I bet that their choreography is going to be better this time. It almost has to be.
I mean, last time it was blatantly obvious what was going on.
Yeah, shout out to Justin Mattello here. He did make his way all the way up to 6th spot right now. Remember, he started on pit road, so he had to hope for a caution, which obviously cautions came. And he made his way all the way through the field and sitting in the 6th spot. Also want to point out to you, Brandon Roderick, who's been there. He's been the pusher a lot of the time, but he's been there this whole time in the top 5. So maybe it's his time to shine here. Also, Heath Snyder's been trying to make that outside line work for most of the time. Just some names thrown out here, because we've been focusing on that top 3 so much that these other guys, they've been here ready to pounce. Maybe it's time for that now.
See?
I think the way these drivers have been going tonight, I only predict one green white checker here. I think they'll finish under green. I was wrong my last prediction. I hope I'm right. This one's so good. I don't want them to get all tightened up again. I want to see it happen right now. I want to see a great finish here. Garrett Maines is your leader. He does control this race. He can start whenever he gets into that restart zone. It's up to him.
Let's see. Here we go. Garrett Maines, Matthew Lee. Will we see... Oh, contact. And...
There
wow.
he goes. He, a lot better choreographer this time. As you see, Justin, you get up into the 20 car, Justin Patello. So, some early contact here.
Wait, what?
Caution is back on the track. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything as well. This will be our second attempt. I'm looking at Christian Sanford. He's got some damage. He's back here in the back. May have gotten spun out or something. The 28 of Christian Sanford. That's the Dodge coin machine. But
Hey,
quickly.
maybe somebody jumped the start. Keep that in mind.
That is true. Somebody could have jumped the start. Quickly, my prediction of only one green white checker was proven to be incorrect. So if you're planning on taking advice from the stock market guru here, don't listen to what I have to say. And Garrett Maines has already called. He will take the top line for the second green white checkered. So we don't have to predict this time. He's already called it.
Oh, yeah, there was a spin. All right, let's take a look at this.
All right, Atlee will get that up here. And like I said, it looked like the 28 might have been involved. I'm not sure.
All right, so watch the 66 of Mr. Garrett.
John Garrett himself. I predict a chain reaction here. Oh, look at the 28 up there on the outside line trying to get a good run.
Like a little bit of a stack up, cars bumping into each other. And whoa, yeah, this is a interesting situation.
And there's the 28 getting involved.
Goodness. Okay, I think we need to watch this replay again, but from a little bit farther up the field.
Yeah, Aaron Smith there also involved in that bright yellow 70 car. And like you said, it's just a chain reaction to where people are so ready to go, and then they have to back out of it, and then the car behind them has to back out of it.
So
and
watch.
Just
here's a plentiful point of view right here. Watch Brandon Roderick. He's got Justin Botello behind him. We're seeing a lot of bumping and banging up front here. Watch this. So we're here on the restart. Right there. There it is. This is where the straw that breaks the camel's back. Boom.
yeah, it gets into him and has to let off, yeah.
And then that just starts the chain reaction, everybody bumping into each other.
Yeah, you see it. And you can actually see it right there as cars start to stack up. Yeah. And then John Garrett has to slow up. And then boom. He does not slow up.
So that's like all the dominoes falling down.
Aaron Smith barely got clipped there. So we go back to live here, and we looking at second attempt at a green white checker. Garrett Maines is your leader.
But I'm glad we could get that perspective because it definitely changed your point of view a little bit for that wreck.
Oh yeah, definitely, and we can see just how prevalent that the chain reaction is real, even in iRacing, and just how much it affects. We showed that started in the fourth position out there, fourth and sixth spots, and it ended up all the way back here in the 13th and 14th spot. And so that's something that happens way up there, affects it with that chain reaction.
No, I know it's rubber, but for some reason this looks like E. Snyder has a ton of bugs on his front end.
Well,
Same thing with Crystal King.
All that means is they've been doing a lot of bumping.
some damage on the front end of Brandon Gagnon.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of bumping too hard, is what that is. Derek Fulton there in the 007 machine. Looking, and all these drivers that were, even Curtis Cruisley, he's got some damage to his right front.
Right.
But everybody is still in contention for this thing. It doesn't matter right now if you're in first like Garrett Maines or if you're in 20th like Jason Nethery. You still have a chance to be in this thing. We've seen Anthony Cronover. We've seen him how many wrecks here? At least 2 wrecks he's been involved in. Not saying they're his fault, but he's been involved in them. And I'd say he still has a chance to win this thing. I mean, nobody's out.
And there we go. Didn't need to predict that. Garrett Maines moves up to the high side. Let's see if we can have a better restart.
I'll make you a bet, Atlas.
Alright, what?
I bet on this restart because I can see into the future. I don't know if you knew that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can see into the future, and I bet that Garrett Maines will take off and he'll drop down in front of Matthew Lee. That's just what I predict. Yeah, I mean, I'll be willing to bet. You know, I'm not a big betting man, but I mean, I'll bet my paycheck.
That's interesting.
Let's see. How old are you, Atlee? I don't know if you want to
12.
tell everybody that. Okay.
I'm 12. I don't know if anybody actually knows that. I'm 12 years old.
So I'm 12 years old. I don't know what 12-year-olds like to get, but you could get a lot with my paycheck.
Alright, so I'm going to bet against that. I think that Garrett Maines is going to stay up there and have Raymond Ridenour push him.
Oh, wow. So what are you throwing on the line here?
I'm going to throw my new personal outlook that I've started doing. I'm going to throw that out the window.
I would love to have that.
I know.
Wow, I would love to have
You seem like a
fresh.
person who'd love to have a personal outlook.
Yes, that's exactly right. Some fresh perspective to
Right. New
it would come
philosophy.
in handy. Yeah, definitely.
Help me be
What is
more
this broadcast
cognitive.
coming to? Oh me.
We will
Ooh,
see.
Brandon Roderick down. I'm actually liking the second row here. Brandon Roderick and Raymond Rittenauer, the 93 and the 87. I think that they have a really good shot if they could pair up somehow to overtake Matthew and Garrett. They've been so strong that I don't know. It's going to be hard for anybody to take their position here.
Right. Will I be correct? Ooh.
Here we go. Second attempt at the green-white checkered. And wait for it. Wait for it. Green flag is back out there. Garrett Maines. He stays out there. Please don't tell me he's listening to the broadcast. Okay. There we go. There's some fresh perspective for you. Leaves Raymond Rittenauer fighting out there on that outside line. He does have a little bit of help there from Justin Yu, but I don't think they can make it happen just into you.
Congratulations, Dustin. For this green-white checkered, you'll be able to call this race with a new personal point of view.
Oh, wow. It just hit me. Wow. Just hit me. And man, do I see things differently. I'll tell you what I see. Raymond Rittenauer.
Oh!
Ooh. Wow.
And
I
here
was really
goes the
pulling for him
caution.
there. I was really pulling for the outside line to do something with Garrett Maines here. But man, let's take a look back and see what happened here. To Raymond Rittenauer. I jinxed him is what I did. My fresh perspective was too much for him. Looks like he got hooked there by Justin Yee. I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to call that just yet. But that's just what it looked like as I saw it. We will go back and take a look at exactly what happened here. Right now, we do have Garrett Maines as our leader. And here is that replay for you. Justin Yee in that 64 right behind. Oh, no. Am I going to have to say left rear quarter panel?
No. You just said it.
Oh, no. It actually wasn't Justin Yee. Brandon Roderick came up into the second line.
Ooh.
Wow.
Got some contact made. Barely avoiding it. It's Justin Botello pulling like a... Jeez.
Goes from the bottom line all the way to the outside of having to avoid this. I think Heath Snyder in that 29 is going to do the same thing.
Like Moses crossing the Red Sea there. Goodness.
So yeah, Raymond Rittenor did come down a little bit, and 93 went up a little bit. So it looked to be like one of them deals. There you see Heath Snyder barely avoiding. Wow, look how close that was. And unfortunately, he does get into the outside there, but his car is going to be okay.
Right, and he's still in contention for this thing. Right now, Raymond Rittenor is going to be most likely restarting this race in the 12th position.
Got one up on his roof. Who was that there?
Oh, that is the 73 of Jeremy Bucci.
Man, we saw him strong in that second heat.
We did.
Yeah, so shame for him. Who me? So I think everybody just got some fresh perspective on that one.
Right. I mean, that really changes. I bet that really changed a lot of these drivers' point of view of this entire race as a whole. Rethinking everything.
Man, look, the turn and pray did not work for one driver. I couldn't tell who that was.
Whoa, that gyro cam is weird. That just shows how tilted that car is, and that's what it looks like when you're on your roof. Nice.
That's a pretty cool camera there.
Gosh, and here's what it looks like from his perspective. He can't see anything.
He's turning the wheel though. I like that. I like it.
His wheels are up in the air, but there he goes. Oh, wait, no. How does he get back on his wheels?
I think just momentum when he hit the apron got him on there. Yeah, 73, Jeremy Bucci.
There you can see his engine. That is not good.
Garrett Maines remains out front here. Matthew T. Lee sitting in second. Justin Yee now in that third position. And Justin Botello, who we've talked about, making his way slowly up to the front, sitting in that fourth position. He'll start outside of row 2 on this restart. Heath Snyder will round out your top 5 in that 29.
Yeah, this is going to be our final green, white, checkered. First one didn't work out. Second one didn't work out. So this third one, if a caution comes out, then they're not even going to worry about it. They're just going to race to the finish.
Oh, they are going to race to the finish. It's not going to be decided by the yellow flag.
No.
Well, that's good to know. Really good to know here. So they will race back to the line. And it looks like we might get the one to go signal this time for that third and final green, white, checkered. Such a heartbreaker for Brandon Roderick there. I know he's been up front for most of the night, as Raymond Rittenor has. And it looks like, yes, we will get the green flag next time by. One to go. Garrett Maines picking that outside line yet again. It seemed to work so far. Why fix it if it ain't broke? That'll leave Justin Botello on the outside line if he does do that again.
And this has been more of a tearjerker than your favorite rom-com. This has been crazy.
Now, I tell you what I like. When I see that outside line, you got Justin Botello right there. But then right behind him is that 03 of Jonathan Thompson. We know he can push. So it'll be really cool to see them work together and see what they can do on that outside line. And we see, I don't know why they're so far back from the pace car. But they look like they're finally catching back up with him here.
Wonder what's going to happen on this restart.
I already have fresh perspective, so let's see. I predict that Garrett Maines, now stay with me here, follow me here, okay? This may be a shocker, but I think that he's going to take the green flag, he's going to jump ahead, he's going to pull right down in front of Matthew Lee. That's just my prediction. I wouldn't take it to the bank just yet. That's just my prediction.
Wow. And are you sure that's your fresh perspective?
Oh yeah, that's fresh. That's like just out the garden fresh. Definitely.
And all right, pace car pulls in. This is our final green-white checkered attempt. Whew, here we go.
No matter what happens here, we will have a finish to this race after we go green. Justin Patello getting hungry on that outside line, but don't count out Justin Yee in that 64 machine. He's right behind Matthew T. Lee. He can make something happen here in the closing laps. Green flag back out. Garrett Maines jumps on that gas. But Justin Yee pushing the 04 there. And nope, Garrett Maines going to come straight down. Jonathan Thompson not staying with Justin Patello there. That's going to leave Justin out to dry. Heath Snyder coming up, trying to catch him with a draft. And I thought they were going to get single file too there, but it looks like they're trying to make a run on the outside as they go down the backstretch.
I don't know if they can do it.
I'm with you, Atlee. Heath Snyder jumping down to the inside line. And looks like Justin Patello's trying to do everything he can. I just don't think he has enough. He's got one lap to do it as they come into the white flag this time by. Justin Yee. Yeah, he's on the outside trying to make it work. Justin Patello's going to help him. He's going to push him right up there. They got all the momentum right now, especially if they can get Heath Snyder coming up there with them.
We're side by side. Can Justin Yee take the lead over Garrett Maines? It's going to be up to Justin Patello. It's going to give him a good push here. Oh, and they...
Oh, no, he turned him.
And that's
Remember,
the end of
no
that.
caution. Yeah, Justin Yee's night is done. But Garrett Maines, if anybody can catch them, they have no momentum right now. That momentum was shaking. Heath Snyder trying to do everything he can to get up there. I don't think he has enough time, but we'll see.
Can Heath Snyder get up with this long tri-oval? There is a chance.
Oh, no, that just broke up. You want to help your teammate there.
No.
I don't know if your teammates. And they're wrecking all kind of chaos. Garrett Maines is your winner at Talladega. The survivor here along with Matthew T. Lee. They straight out dominate here at Talladega. That's something you don't hear too often.
Wow, that was probably the most dominated race I've ever seen in my entire life. Garrett Maines, goodness. Well, dominated Superspeedway race, leads almost every lap. Man.
Matthew T. Lee also very loyal to Garrett that whole race. I think that was part of their success. I mean, they were there the whole time, just bumper to bumper. Heath Snyder taking home third position. Jason Nethery in fourth. Rounding out your top five is Brandon Gagnon, the 83 machine.
We'll go ahead and get the finishing order. Here it is.
I think if they wouldn't have wrecked each other, I think it would have been neck and neck at the line. That would have been an awesome finish.
Sadly, here is the finishing results. Great race by Garrett Maines. Dominated. He is your winner. Then second place, pushed him throughout this entire race. Matthew T. Lee ended up finishing second. Heath Snyder third. Jason Nethery ended up finishing fourth. Brandon Gagnon rounds out your top five. Justin Patello finishes sixth. Seventh, Oscar Jensen. Finishing eighth was Travis Paul. Ninth, John Garrett. And rounding out your top 10 was Crystal King. Finishing 11th was Alex Link. 12th, Raymond Rudenor the second. Another second, Aaron Smith the second, finished 13th. Travis Martin 14th. Then we got Brandon Vasquez 15th. Brandon Roderick ends up finishing 16th. Rounding out your top 17, we got Hunter Parsons. 18th was Anthony Crownover. 9th, we have Jonathan Thompson. And rounding out your top 20, Derek Fulton. Rest of these drivers are one lap down. Justin Yee finishes 21st. Christian Sanford 22nd. Finishing 23rd was Curtis Critchley. 24th is Jeremy Bucci. And rounding out your top 25, last but most certainly not least, Corey the Real Deal.
Oh, me. Such a heartbreak, I will say, for Justin Yee. Sitting there leading the thing, getting pushed by Justin Patello right behind you on the last lap and getting spun out there. Man, what a tough break for him.
We are going to take a quick break and we'll be back for the interviews.
The Talladega Superspeedway. We just saw a crazy finish here. We're joined in the booth now with your third place finisher, Heath Snyder, driving that 29 machine. You got a copy for me, Heath?
I gotcha.
Heath, walk us through that last lap chaos, man, and how did you make it all the way up to third?
I have no clue how I missed that car that spun in front of me, but that was pretty insane. I'm happy I was in the place I was.
Well, yeah, you were kind of there the whole night. We saw you top five the whole night pushing. So was your strategy to be a pusher and try to get somebody up there and then maybe battle it out at the end, or was you just happy to go anywhere the whole time?
To be honest, this is my favorite style of racing, so I like trying to stay up front, and I also really enjoy pushing, so it was kind of just push my way up.
Well, yeah, we definitely saw you in the mix throughout the whole race. Is there anybody that you would like to shout out for your third place finish tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Jabo and Oopsie. They've been pretty supportive in my iRacing career.
Absolutely. Well, Heath, again, congratulations on a third place finish. I don't know how you made it through that wreck either, but either way you did. And so a top three finish for you, man. I hope to see you again sometime here in the booth with us.
Hey, thank you. You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
We got Matthew Lee in the booth. Hey, Matthew, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Wow, that was a very exciting race. We had to go through 3 green, white checkers, and that was a very chaotic final couple laps. What happened here from your point of view here at Talladega Superspeedway?
Yeah, me and Garrett were pretty much planned just the way we wanted it to. I weren't leaving him. We were pretty much planning on working together once we got together there. So played out real well. Stinks that I got into all the net code, whatever, between me and Justin there. I went back and looked at it, and looks like there was like at least half a foot between us, and it got him out of shape and stuff, and that just really sucks to see. It was going to be a good finish.
Now, what's the secret and what makes you so good at pushing?
I really just try to be really smooth with the wheel. I mean, that's one of the biggest things is just not overreact. Something happens in front of you and just kind of know when to lift and when to push.
Right, well, you did a great job with that. Ended up taking home second place. Anybody you'd like to shout out and thank before we let you go?
Great job to Garrett. He ran a great race. All over the guys over at CGE Chassis. Been doing a ton of work on setup stuff lately for Road to Pro coming up, GTR simulators, and all the guys at Phantom Racing.
All right, well, congratulations on second place, and hopefully we'll see you in the booth next week.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, that will leave Garrett Maines, our race winner tonight. Garrett, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, Garrett. I've called a lot of super speedway races. I've never seen anyone dominate a super speedway race like you did tonight. Walk us through how you did that, man.
Man, gotta give a huge shout out to Matt Lee there. Just stayed glued to that bumper the whole race. I think he started 8th, and I think it was like lap 2. Maybe it was lap 1. It was like the end of lap 1. we were making the move for the lead. So that was really cool. And, once he got there, we just stayed in control of it. He did everything right, keep that engine cool, just keep the momentum rolling there. And, that's what you got to do, especially when it's only two of you. There's not much, not much you can do other than just have a perfect race, no mistakes. And that's what he had there. And, I reaped the benefit there. So definitely cool to have a guy, to team up with there that knows what he's doing. And really, really cool to get that result tonight.
Absolutely, man. I mean, y'all were working together so well. I had thought that maybe y'all were teammates, or y'all went into it, wanting to work together. Is that the case, or did y'all just hook up and liked each other enough to keep it going?
Yeah, we're not quote unquote teammates, but we're buddies, and we went into the race with the understanding we'd work with each other, and it's you got to have friends out here to some extent. So yeah, got to have somebody to work with at least, to be able to make that kind of thing work. Just if you start getting jumbled up with everybody, just it becomes very hectic at the front, and people get greedy. But he was completely content with where we were, and obviously I would be too. So, but we had it all in a good spot there, and everybody stuck to the plan. So definitely unfortunate. Some of the other guys that were hanging out with us in Discord had some terrible luck, but Matt came out on top with the luck there, and got in a really good spot, and pushed me to win there. So
Absolutely. Again, it was crazy to see how well y'all worked together. And again, congratulations on a dominating performance here at Talladega. Is there anybody you would like to shout out that is watching?
yeah, I gotta thank Smithfield, 101 CBD, SimSeats, Strickland Hardy, Linux, Bradley Mechanical, Swag, ComServe, OfferPad, all the guys at ESC for all their help this year. And hopefully with the Coke Series coming up in the next few weeks, it's gonna be interesting to see. We're going to a plate track, and I've been doing lots of that. So hopefully we have a good car, and hopefully we can go have a good showing there.
Well, Garrett, I appreciate you showing us how it's done here. And if you can do it there like you did it here tonight, man, you should have no problems. Good luck to you. And I hope to talk to you again here soon.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Atlee, that was a crazy race, man. What are your final thoughts on this race here at Talladega?
Final thoughts. At first, we did have a pretty clean race. We actually saw some clean 3-wide race, and then we saw a lot of aggressive racing. We went through 2 green-white checkers, and then that final time, we just saw a pusher and the leader get it done. I mean, Matthew Lee did a great job pushing Garrett Maines to the finish, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and I've said it again. I've never seen such a dominating performance on a super speedway. I mean, they took off and they were gone. I mean, throughout the whole race, nobody could. I mean, they could get up beside them, but nobody could overtake them, and that's rarely seen. Usually, that outside line just takes dominance, but not tonight. Also, just another thing I saw was just the amount of heartbreak tonight. We're used to seeing crashes near the back. But tonight it seemed like it was just all in the front, and drivers that were up there that had a really good chance of winning, got taken out there. So that's always sad to see, but that's my final thoughts on this race.
Yeah, there was a tearjerker, but everybody who was cheering for Garrett Maines is definitely excited right now. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in to watch this race on Intensity Broadcasting. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And to make sure to subscribe, as we are on the road to 1,000 by April 27th. Again, thank you to everyone who followed us tonight as we hit 900, so 100 more to go. I think we can do it as a community. Let's get there. And Sunday, we're going to have the original Rebels Racing League. I know that's one of our most popular leagues that we do, so make sure to tune into that. It's always fun racing, and hopefully we'll see you there. I'm Atlee @ManWees. Thank you for watching. Over and out.